Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review. And today we're going to be doing my comic load for the week, as well as news, updates, questions, answers, and the Andrewcutter Battle Royale and everything that falls in between. So, as you guys know, and as I've told you before, my videos have been kind of sporadic lately because, well, my life is kind of in disarray. A couple things are going on. Most noticeably is I am going to be moving out of my apartment into a house, which is awesome. More space so that my wife and I can kind of spread out. We're not so congested in one area. Two, is the house that we're going into is absolutely fucking beautiful. And it has a big room upstairs where I'm gonna just lay out all my comic stuff and lay out all my video games and everything. And three is we're allowed to have pets because it's a house. At our apartment, we're not allowed to have pets, which sounds silly. Why is that a big deal to me? Well, growing up, I always had a pet. And I never realized that it would bother me until I didn't have a pet. I always had a cat or a guinea pig or something, mostly cats. And since this past year, not having a cat or any kind of pet, it's been kind of weird. I don't quite understand it. My wife's never had pets, except for ducks. She had ducks. Don't ask. But the fact that we can have pets now is awesome. She wants to get a dog, and I would love to have a dog, but time and the fact that dogs are a lot of work, probably gonna go for cats. You know why I know we're going to go for cats? Do you know who's going to be paying for it? This guy right here. So I'm going for cats. But so we get to have pets, which is awesome. Two is I have an interview tomorrow for a step up position, so for another promotion. So I've been busy kind of focusing in on that and where I want to go and what I want to do with my position in the company that I'm in right now. So I've been working on that a little bit this morning, thinking about stuff. I have a couple more numbers I have to memorize down, but the wife is away for the weekend, so I don't have too many distractions keeping me from actually doing that. I feel 85% confident with everything. Just need a couple more hours to hammer things out. All I really have to do today is go to the gym and focus on that some more. So life has been in a little disarray. But what I really want to talk about is my Comic Con experience. Now, last we talked, I said I wasn't going to be putting up a video because I was going to be going to Boston Comic Con. And Boston Comic Con is my favorite comic convention to go to. Why? Well, there's a couple reasons. One is it's relatively close and easy to get to, seeing that I live in Mass and Boston is capital Mass. Pretty simple. Number two is it's relatively inexpensive to get in. There's always tickets, so it's not like a freaking headache like some places. I'm looking at you, San Diego Comic Con. And in addition to that, usually it has some good people there. The first time I went to Boston Comic Con, well, no, not the first time. When it started getting big, which I think was the third time I went to Boston Comic Con, no, second time. I got to meet Jim Lee, and then third time I got to meet Frank Whiteley and Neil Adams, and then fourth time I got to meet Jim Lee, George Perez, uh, a couple other people, Tony Daniels, so on and so forth. And now this time, I had a list of people I wanted to see because there was going to be Scott Snyder again, which I wanted to get a few other things signed from him that I didn't get last year. Greg Capullo, who I wanted to get my Batman issue signed from, so I had both the writer and the artist. Gal Simone was going to be there. Rebecca Isaacs, who did the art on Buffy, Angel, and Faith, and Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor are going to be there. So I am like devising a plan of what I'm going to do. So, as with most everything, my life is in continuous disarray, and I completely forget Comic Con's coming up. I don't take the days off for it, so I am screwed both the Friday that it's there and also Saturday, because Saturday we had a family party we had to go to. And in addition to that, on Sunday, my wife was not able to go with me. This is like one of the first times she didn't go to a con with me, which she was very disappointed in. Anyways, I was able to scrounge one of my friends to go with, and he was pretty happy because he got to go and see James Marsters, which I wanted to meet, but I just didn't have time. Um, and yeah, I was so motivated because there was a laundry list of things that I wanted to do. Number one to see was probably Greg Capullo, just because I wanted to get the rest of the stuff signed. And obviously, I didn't know Scott Snyder and him were going to be together. Thought they were going to be separate. I don't know why that sounds foolish. They're like a team. So I mean, Gal Simone was huge on the list to see, and then it just kind of trickled down from there. So I had a plan set in motion. My friend, who never went to a con with me before, did not know what to do. Did not know what to do. He was like, "What the fuck? Why are you running around? Why are you looking for people?" I'm like, "Because I need to know where they're at so I can get in line." Oh, so I'm gonna give you kind of a lowdown on how things work, what I got signed, and just overall how the day went. I had pictures. For those of you that don't follow me on Facebook, which is fine if you don't, I posted up most of the pictures, but I'm gonna take some of the pictures I had with the celebrities and celebritants that I got to meet. So first thing I did is I was trying to find where people were. And the great thing is a lot of people were doing the ticket thing where you take a ticket and you just wait for your number so you can walk around and do whatever shit you want. So first persons that I found were Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. So I took a ticket from them. I said, I will be back. How long do I have? 15 minutes? No worries. So I'm walking around again and I happen to see Rebecca Isaacs. I'm like, awesome. Fuck! I forgot to bring my Angel and Faith issue #1 and my Buffy #1. Shit, well, I still want to meet her. So I went to go meet Rebecca Isaacs, and she was kind of just chilling there, and I was, I guess, the first person to her booth, and I saw this great printout that she did of her art, and I said, is it possible I could get that and get it signed? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So I got this Angel and Faith printout, and she signed it at the bottom to Andrew, Rebecca Isaac. Pretty cool. Which is a really great printout, and I'm going to get it framed, and I really do like it a lot. I think Angel looked badass there, and Faith looks like she's about to kill someone, which is, Faith. So I got that, and she said with every printout you get a free sketch. So she asked me who I want to sketch. So I thought for a second, I'm like, fuck, what am I thinking about? I'm going to get my favorite character, which was Angel. So she did a sketch of Angel, which is right here, and that is pretty cool. So I'm going to frame it with that. And I got to talk to her a little bit about like drawing because you guys know I draw on the side. I mostly draw my D&D characters, and I asked her questions like, what do you do with eyes? Like, my problem is eyes. Make sure eyes are lined up and the pupils and everything. She gave me some tips on that. She asked to see some of the drawings I did. I'm like, yeah, here you go. Take a look. Laugh if you want. But no, she was super nice and a really good experience. And I hope to meet her again so I can get my comic signed by her. But not just that, because she was a great person to meet. So I spent a good chunk of time there, probably, let's say, 10 minutes. Went back to Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor to see what number I had. And they're like, no, it's going to be 10 more minutes. So I'm like, got to find people. So I'm running around and I stop. And there's someone sitting there. Nothing behind them. No displays at all. I'm like, is that Gal Simone? Just chilling? And it was. She had no display saying that it was her. There was no pictures of Red Sonja or Batgirl or the Birds of Prey or Wonder Woman or anything else she's done. And I'm just like, is this really her? So I walked up and I knew it was her because I'm part of her Twitter feed. I follow her on Facebook or Twitter and all this other stuff. So I'm like, Gal Simone? And she's like, yeah, hi. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I get to meet you. Holy shit. Why are they, I didn't say this, but I'm like, why isn't there a line here? I don't think she's had set up, so I caught her before she set up and everything. So I asked her to sign some stuff for me. So what I got signed from her, and I'm really doing this out of order, I got that much. So I brought a couple comics and I got to talk to her and I really told her how much I loved Batgirl and the stuff that she was doing and the fact that she's building up Barbara and knocking her down and asked her what her future plans were. Really genuinely nice person. And the the niceness that you see online from her is the same stuff you'll see when you talk to her. Super nice. So I got Batgirl issue #1 signed from her, which is cool. And I meant to bring the Movement issue #1, but I forgot it back at home. I was pissed about that. But the other stuff I got signed from her is every single variant cover of the new Red Sonja series. So as you can see here, every single cover is signed by Gal Simone. Because I love the series, and I asked her to stay on it, but I asked her also to stay on Batgirl, which I know she's not. So I put those down there. So anyways, I got like 2 people off the list. I'm like, that was pretty cool. I was worried if I was going to get everyone, But all I have to do now is focus on Jimmy Palmiotti, Justin, and Amanda Conner, and also Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. So I talked to the person that said, "Oh yeah, you're ready to get in line for Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti." I'm like, "Awesome! Hey, you wouldn't happen to know if Scott Snyder or Greg Capullo are going to be?" And they're like, "Yeah, they're going to be next, right, the table next to us." I'm like, "What? They're doing the ticket thing also? What?" So I run over there, grab a ticket, so I'm guaranteed a spot with those two. I'm like, "Cool." So I got to meet Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner, and I got a couple things signed by them. And boy, were they nice. I think Amanda talked to me more because Jimmy was talking to someone else that they were kind of tag teaming people. But she talked to me a lot about Harley Quinn, some stuff they had planned, just overall what my thoughts on it. And oh, I got a few things signed by her and a few things signed by Jimmy. Let me pull it up. So I got the Red Sonja signed by her, also the variant cover she did because she did a variant. But of course, by both of them, I had to get Harley Quinn issue number 1 signed, and I got them to both sign issue number 0 of Harley Quinn. So I got those two signed, and again, I think I talked to Amanda a little bit more. They sat there and they talked for a while. They talked and they had a long line of people, and they talked to me for like 5, 7 minutes probably. And then I talked to Jimmy Palmiotti. I said, I love your war stories. I love your Western stories. I love your different genres. So I got Jonah Hex issue number 1 signed. And he did a little drawing on the side, which was pretty cool. I got GI Combat issue number 1 signed, which was a cool series. It's a shame it ended. And then I got Star Spangled War Stories featuring GI Combat, GI Zombie issue number 1, which just came out this past month. So that was pretty cool. So I got all that stuff, and then I'm like, all I have left is Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. Now, last year with Scott Snyder, I got to meet him. It was awesome, and I got my Batman's issue number 1 signed by him, and my Batman issue number 2 variant signed by him. And this was last year. And issue number 1 because it was issue number 1, and issue number 2 variant because it's my favorite comic cover, the Jim Lee variant, which is awesome. So my main goal was to get signatures from both of them, because that would be like a complete signature on the comic. You would have had the writer and the artist. I mean, obviously, I would like to get the inker, but I mean, that's easier said than done. So, got to meet them. Greg Capullo was really cool, face to face. Scott Snyder was awesome as always. I'm like, Scott, I got to meet you last year. It was wicked awesome. You were super nice. He's like, yeah, I think I remember you. I'm like, sure you do. You're Scott Snyder. You have like 9 billion fans. I'm sure you remember me. But it'd be kind of cool if you did. Maybe I left an impression. Anyways, I got Batman issue number 1 signed also by Greg Capullo. So you see Scott's signature from last year and Greg's from this year. So that's issue number 1. And then I got the variant cover of issue number 2 signed by Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. I want to meet Jim Lee one more time so I get a signature from him on this, but also a signature on Justice League issue number 1. But got these 2 signed by Greg Capullo, which were pretty cool. So I have Scott and Greg's signature on both of these, which was a big thing I wanted to get. And then I had 2 things I wanted to get signed by Scott. First was Superman Unchained issue number 1, which I forgot to bring last year, but I got it this year. So I got his signature, which is right there. You can kind of see the gold, which is pretty cool. If I meet Jim Lee again, which I'm hoping to, I will also get the signature of him on here. So, and then I'm going to start it. Batman Eternal issue number 1. I got the signature of Scott Snyder right there. It's in the cape if you can see it. So that means I get Scott Snyder, James Tynion, Ray Fox, John Layman, Tim Seeley, Jason Fabok. I have a lot of people to complete this, but this is a project I'm looking forward to doing. So I got those signatures. So I'm like, got everyone I wanted done. And the best thing is I got everyone that I wanted done in 2 hours. I made it sound like it was only 5 minutes, but really I got it done pretty quickly. So I went around. I got a few other things. I got 2 things for my wife, which she packed away, so I'm not going to pull out. It's a Superman ink blotch and a Joker ink blotch because she loves Superman and Joker. And then there was this guy that was doing printouts of his art, and his rule is buy two get one free, and every one after that is $5. So my boy bought two, and he's like, yeah, you just take the free one and then pay $5 for another one. So I got this one, which was pretty cool, which is the Bat Family. Some new 52, some not. So you have Batman there, you have Nightwing, Red Hood, Batwoman, Huntress, Batwing, um, Spoiler, or Stephanie Brown as Batgirl, Cassandra Cain as Batgirl, regular Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, Red Robin, and Robin. So it's kind of a cool picture that I got, and it just stood out to me. And there was two versions. There was one with the bat signal and one without, and had this dynamic design. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna stop doing the design thing. You might as well get it while it lasts." Well, I know he could be lying, but I mean it was good enough pitch. I said, "Screw it, I'll get it." But that was pretty cool. And then he also had. Let's put that down there. He also did one of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I'm like, shit, gonna get that. So it's all the different Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: red, blue, yellow, black, pink, green, and white, which was pretty awesome. And I'm also gonna frame that. So liked his stuff a lot. There's a few other things I wanted to get, but I was saving my money and worked out great. And Comic Con was awesome. So what I'll do is I'll post up some pictures right now. And these will be mostly pictures of people I met. Oh, and I got to meet Jerry the King Lawler, which was pretty cool. I think he was tired or just sick of seeing people because I think he he was kind of short with me. But I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, love wrestling, love you. What's happening? And he's like, not much. I'm like, and it was like a little bit of silence. I'm like, could I get a picture for my boy? Because my friend was supposed to go, my other friend, and he couldn't make it. So I got a picture signed for him. He's like, yeah, if you do $10 more, you get a picture with him. I'm like, well, obviously I'm gonna get a picture with Jerry the King Lawler. So here's some of the pictures that I have. So as you can see, it was a great Comic Con. Got to wear the Wonder Woman shirt too. And Gal Simone actually pointed that out. She said, "Oh, you wear Wonder Woman." I'm like, "Yeah, she's my second favorite hero." She's like, "Who's your favorite, Superman?" Because I had the Superman backpack. I'm like, "No, it's Batman. I'm just representing my girl right now." Got into a little talk about Wonder Woman. I forgot about that until I uploaded the pictures. But only one representing Wonder Woman. But yeah, on a whole, good stuff. Looking forward to Rhode Island Comic Con, mostly because Austin St. John's going to be there. The original Red Ranger. I am beyond pumped for that. I got my rooms booked because my wife and I are going to stay there overnight. I got my tickets, so everything should be good. In addition to that, Power Morphicon is this weekend, and Austin St. John said that he's in talk with Saban to do Dino Charge. So looking good, looking good. But that's enough about my Comic Con experience. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about, and that's comic books. And let us start where we always start, with just a little bit of Batman in our life. With Batman and Robin, issue number 34. Holy shit, they're back to the title, Batman and Robin. Basically, this issue is broken up into two parts. Batman talking to the Bat family and Batman dealing with Lex Luthor. First thing is he kind of says, hey guys, we've been separated too long. The death of the family was ridiculous. I want us to be whole again. No more secrets. Here's what's happening. And they're like, okay, Bruce, no more secrets. But you better not be pulling shit on us because that means this is all bullshit. He's like, no more secrets. And then after they all leave, fucking Dick Grayson's hanging out there, which is awesome. I like the fact that Dick Grayson was there. But you have to think, wait, Dick Grayson's a fucking secret, which is hilarious. So Batman's still keeping secrets, but yeah, basically he mends things with the Batman family, which is cool. And in addition to that, they want to go to Apocalypse with him, but he's like, "No, you guys gotta stay here. Gotham needs you." And then he talked to Dick, and Dick's probably the most reasonable of them because Dick understands what needs to be done. and he says that he promises if Bruce doesn't come back, he'll don the mantle again, which was kind of cool. And then he goes to the Justice League, and he basically says the Justice League on fake calls so that they're distracted, and he gets his Hellbat suit. Not to reveal too much, and there's a little bit of a confrontation between him and Luthor, which is pretty funny. On the whole, this issue was pretty good. Other than the fact that Batman's still kind of lying to everyone because Dick Grayson is still a secret. For the most part, this is a solid issue. Some great moments and some good Lex moments too. I'm really liking Lex as a good guy. It's pretty fun. But definitely worth picking up. 4.5 out of 5. Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue number 34. This is continuing Starfire going out there and being cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. No, just kidding. She's not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Starfire just, she had a tough life. She was a slave. She was kind of scurried around and tortured, and God knows what else happened to her, and she wants to take revenge on someone. Of course, Jason and Roy want to stop that. And this is a good Starfire issue. We get I feel as though it handles the character well. Starfire's costume basically has reverted back to her pre-New 52 with the collar. Uh, I think it was on a whole handled well. Here's the thing. I feel as though we've been having a lot of Starfire and space stuff in Red Hood and the Outlaws, and because of which it's just too much. Scott Bladell, who's writing this, continues to go back to that, and I'm kind of over it. So 3 out of 5, solid issue. Really could have been cooler if we didn't have to continue going to space with Starfire. Get it? She was a slave. She was beaten and tortured and all that stuff. We've got like 6 stories from it so far. Let's do something with Roy now, or something with Jason now. But I guess it's also good that we're spreading out the love between all the members of the Outlaws. So yeah, 3 out of 5. Batwoman issue number 34. Boy, oh boy, Batwoman really kind of makes hard decisions. The major story that's been going on here is vampires and dealing with this vampire queen. The minor story, or not really minor story, but the side story, is the custody battle for Maggie Sawyer's daughter. Some heavy decisions are made here with that custody battle, and in addition to that, some quite a shocker in turn at the end with what's her name? Cat Kane, Batwoman, and the vampires. So I don't want to talk too much about this because I don't want to reveal anything. But this is a really good issue. Some people don't care for what's going on with Batwoman right now with the vampires and the custody stuff. I think it's fun. I mean, that's what Batwoman is. She's the supernatural stuff of Gotham, which we're getting some more Gotham books, so we'll talk about those later. But yeah, on a whole, I think this was a solid issue. I will give it a 4.5 out of 5 also. Uh, Moving on, Batman Eternal, issue number 20. So, some stuff is going on with Killer Croc and Batman and that new police detective. I forget his name. Insert police detective names here. Sorry, it just hasn't rubbed on me yet. And while this is going on, Batgirl, Batwoman, and Red Hood are trying to clear James Gordon's name, or Jim Gordon. Why did I say James Gordon? It's kind of weird. But they are, of course, roadblocks for proving him innocent. Come on, it's not going to be that easy. And Batgirl has to get through these roadblocks while at the same time keeping her anchor in check. What I liked about this issue is I liked we get some actual answers to what happened with James Gordon. I thought the stuff with Stephanie was cool, and there's a nice thing at the end that deals with Stephanie Brown. Hint, hint. Uh, and the Jim Gordon stuff is pretty cool too because he's in the prison, kind of saving lives. What I don't care for is the Killer Croc and Batman stuff. It started off solid last issue, but I lost interest this issue. And the art is nice. It's definitely not bad, but I don't know. I think it's because we had definitive artists on this, and then there's been so many different kinds of artists that it's the transition is, I don't know, a little rough. First, we have Jason Farbach, which is very kind of Jim Lee, Ed Benz-ish. And then we have Dustin Nguyen, which is a little bit more colorful, a little bit more, I don't want to say cartoonish, but kind of. and now we have more of a, I don't want to say horror, but more of a gritty tone to it. So, um, yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, issue number 6, season 10. Buffy is out of a house. Yeah, she's no longer living in her apartment, and the team goes to get a new apartment, and by doing so, they fight a demon. Yeah. Uh, Good writing, good issue. Not much happens in it. Really, nothing much happens. It's a transition issue. That's why I'm only going to give it 3 because it's a transition issue. Moving on to Teen Titans issue number 2. So we get more Bunker and Beast Boy in this issue, and we get a little bit more of the bad guy in here. And we find that Cassandra Sandmark has a cult kind of following her, people pretending to be her, beating up people. And a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things being set up. Good. We get the villain reveal here, which I'm going to spoil, so be ready. Skip 10 seconds in advance, starting now. Manchester Black is going to be the villain. So, if you know anything about the stories that he's from, he's a fun character. So, spoiler over. I like that. The art is good, and I felt as though this issue had more tone and direction story wise than the previous issues. Bad is that the characters, the tones of the characters are a lot different. One of the things that I liked about Bunker is he was fun loving and very outgoing and carefree. He's a little bit edgier. Don't know how I feel about that. Did we get an explanation on why Beast Boy is green yet? No. And very little of Raven in this. She kind of goes to a concert and that's it. 3 out of 5. Decent issue. I really should give it a 3.5 because the villain that shows up in the end is awesome. What the hell? 3.5. Want more from the series, but it's definitely not bad. Trinity Sin Pandora, issue number 14. This comic's getting canceled, which sucks, but it all works out in the end because she's going to be in Trinity Sin, which is going to be her, Phantom Stranger, and Question, which is kind of cool. And I'm actually really excited for this. Basically, she's teaming up with that Shade Operative and also with Giganta to beat up vampires and bad guys. And Giganta in this is awesome. I feel like Giganta's found a place in her life, killing things. But also, iVampire star Andrew Bennett shows up in this, which is also pretty cool. There's going to be a little bit of throwdown. This gets a 4 out of 5. Fun dialogue, good characterization. It's sad that the story's coming to the end, and even more so over because it doesn't feel like there's an end that is coming to. If that makes sense. I feel as though this is just kind of going to go out with a whimper rather than a bang. iVampire went out with a bang. This is probably going to go out with a whimper. But in saying that, it's still a solid issue. Supergirl, issue number 34. Supergirl has returned back to Earth. Kryptonian cloud of kryptonite. Kryptonian cloud of kryptonite. It's more like Earthling cloud of kryptonite. A cloud of kryptonite is in the air, and she is basically saved by a wheelchaired, disabled young boy named, I believe it's Michael. Let me just remember. Yeah, Michael. Michael basically nurses her back to health, but she's like, well, I gotta go save people because Supergirl. And she goes to save people, and the brainy attack happens in this. This I will actually give a 5 out of 5. Some people will disagree with me on that, but the art was pretty good. I like the relationship between her and Michael. They have a moment, which is cool. And I kind of like him as a character, although we had little from him. What we got was pretty fun. And it was a decent tie into Doom, which has been going on for a while, but I still enjoying the story arc. So I recommend picking up, and it might be a good place to jump on for Supergirl because this is really the first issue without her Red Lantern powers. 1 Month to Die, Wolverine Annual issue number 1. Wolverine and Jubilee are chilling, and yeah, that's about it. They're chilling with a bunch of wolves and stuff. Uh, Baby gets kidnapped. Wolverine has to save him. Jubilee has to control her vampirism. Yeah, I must have been out of the loop. I heard Jubilee was a vampire, but didn't know she still was. So, pretty cool. On the whole, this issue was okay. It had nothing to do with the 1 month to die kind of stuff, the death of Wolverine. In addition to that, it's something that could be done outside of an annual, like kind of a side issue. 2.5 out of 5. In the art really didn't work for me. Justice Inc. issue number 1. So this is an issue series that I kind of wanted to do a little dip to taste, because Doc Savage is in it. And I like Doc Savage. I just got off his series. But also the Shadow and the Avenger. I know some about the Shadow. He's a pretty big pulp character. The Avenger I know nothing about. So kind of got into this. Has to do with time travel. And pretty fun ride. The only thing about this I don't like is it's very Doc Savage heavy, which you think I would like because he's probably the character I'm most drawn to out of the group. But Shadow barely shows up in it, and Avenger is in it, but he's not the Avenger. So, yeah, it will get a 3.5 out of 5. Good start, could have been better. What can I say? Infinity Man and the Forever People with the Forever Artists. I feel like there's a different artist on this all the time. Basically, it's the Forever People versus the Mantis. And Infinity Man basically saying, hey, I'm trying to help you guys out. Work with me. Kind of shit. Yeah, this is still a fun fourth world kind of book. What I like about it is I think the characters are very strong. I think the story was pretty strong. And I feel as though I think this is going to tie into Godhead. It should tie into Godhead. I feel as though this has a good tone to it. The only thing I don't like about this book is I don't like that it's set on Earth. I want this to be in space or on New Genesis. I do not want this to be on Earth. This doesn't feel right. But solid issue, 4 out of 5. Ooh, I threw that down with authority. Green Lantern's New Guardians, issue number 34. Remember when one of the Guardians got taken and has been mutilated and techno inserted and stuff like that? Yeah, Kyle and Carol basically go to save him with the Guardians, which kind of has a really dark tone to it in this. And that's the basic gist. It's really dark. Better issue than the last one. I will give this a 4 out of 5. It kept my interest very well. The dialogue was handled very well. And there were some dark moments in this that were pretty cool too. So, 4 out of 5. Infinite Crisis, Fight for the Multi-Universe, issue number 2. So, I don't know if I got to do my review on issue number 1 or not, but basically in issue number 1, Batman gets sent to different universes. Yes, Batman. And this is not canon with the New 52, but it uses New 52 characters. If you notice, Cyborg and Flash are in their New 52 costumes, or Batman is in his New 52 costume, but it's not set in the New 52. It's just set in the video game world. But anyways, Batman is basically trying to figure out exactly what's going on, working with heroes from different universes, while Cyborg, Flash, and Zatanna are trying to find them. And of course, shenanigans and tomfoolery ensues. This was a solid issue. I think it was just as good as the previous issue. The art was, I believe, a little bit better. The dialogue was pretty solid. Um, I like Batman kind of bickering in this, where everyone's like, I'm from Earth 25. I'm from Earth 32. What Earth are you from? What Batman are you? I'm Batman. Yeah, but which Batman? I'm Batman. I'm no, I'm not a special Batman. I'm just Batman. Uh, So yeah, that was kind of funny. But I don't know. This is a pretty fun side story. Not quite as good as Injustice: Gods Among Us in terms of adapting the video game onto a comic book, but still pretty fun. We're getting to the end. The Future's End, issue number 16. I'm going to give this a 2 because I don't remember anything from it. I think Superman and Lois talk, and we find out that Brainiac is here, and there's some stuff, but Yeah, like I said, not too much happens in this that keeps my interest. This is getting it too. This series is really going at a snail's pace, and there's no direction. I don't know where it's going. I don't know what this has to do with anything. But Batman Beyond is supposed to fight regular Batman soon, so that should be good. Lastly is Multiversity, which is the new Grant Morrison series, which they did a thing online showing the multiverse. And if you do, does anyone watch DC Access, All Access? I do. Basically, paints out the multiverse and it goes into detail on how it works and everything. Kind of cool video to watch. I recommend people watch it. Basically, this is Grant Morrison at Grant Morrison's best because one is he's unchained. Grant Morrison doesn't have to play by anyone's rules. Number two is he doesn't have to touch the main DC universe. Actually, to be honest, no one from Earth Zero, which is the main DC New 52 universe, is in this. It's all Captain Carrot, Superman from Earth 23, Aqua Woman, bunch of different other characters, but no one from Earth Zero or Earth 2. Basically, Earth Zero, Earth 2, and Earth 3. None of the characters are in there. So he got all these different Earths he can fucking play with. And it's super high concept. With that, I always say two things about Grant Morrison. One is Grant Morrison is great with plot and he's great with high concept stuff, which we'll get here. Not so much with dialogue, and the dialogue can be a little choppy at times, but Grant Morrison also at his best where he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, which is what he gets to do here. Not going to go too much into the story. Captain Carrot is probably the standout character in this. And they poke and prod at the Marvel Universe. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I think the reason why I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 is because it's enjoyably Grant Morrison, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is that he's not trying to be anything else. He's unchained. He can do whatever he wants. It's Grant Morrison just having fun telling this multiverse story. And it allows us to tap into the DC multiverse, which is why I'm going to put it as my number 3 for my Andrewcutter picks of the week. Number 2 for my Andrewcutter picks of the week is going to be Batwoman. Really like where this comic's going, and I'm really enjoying the subtle stories that go with it. But number 1 goes to Batman and Robin. Just solid issue. Just solid all around. So yeah. There we go. Picks of the week and my comic load. I'm going to start the video here, do my Andrewcutter Battle Royale. And this week we are going to do a suggestion from you guys, which was Bane from Batman in the DC Universe versus Captain America from the Marvel Universe. So allow me to get a drink because I'm a little bit parched, and we'll continue. And I am back. It's only been a second for you guys, but it's been like 15 minutes for me. On to the Andrewcutter Battle of the Week. So, for those of you that don't know, my Andrewcutter Battle Royale is basically what almost everyone on the internet does. I take two people from fictional media and I smash them against each other in a fight. I get people from comics, movie, video games, ancient history. Hell, I can have Napoleon versus The Rock. Or I could have Batman versus King Tut. Or I could have Goku versus, I don't know, Link from Zelda. Anything. I usually try to make the fights reasonable and within the same power and class range of the individuals. In addition to that, it's a standard fight with all their standard gear, facing each other with no prep time, just going at each other. Obviously, I take suggestions from you guys, and most of the time, the picks that I do have are ones that you guys recommend. And this battle is going to be a recommendation that you guys made. Bane versus Captain America. Let's talk about each combatant. Bane from DC Comics is one of Batman's most powerful and deadliest foes. Bane grew up in prison. Now, it's not that he went to prison, he grew up in prison. So Bane had a pretty hard life starting things off. He decided to train his body and mind to his peak physical conditioning that he can in any way he can. He taught himself to read, how to speak, how to do every single thing. That's how intelligent and willful that is Bane. In addition to that, Bane subjected himself to serious experiments while in prison. These experiments are basically attaching him to a cord in the back of his head that then feeds a special drug to him, a steroid called Venom. Now, Venom has had various different effects throughout the years in comic books. It has made Bane become beyond superhuman in strength to becoming ridiculously strong in strength. I like to believe that Venom does the following. It really just increases his strength by 3 times, making him able to punch through walls if necessary and break through walls, but not quite strong enough to go toe to toe with someone like Wonder Woman or Superman because, I mean, they're like God level strength. So it really does increase his strength 3 or 4 times of what it naturally is, which Bane is like a bodybuilder strength. So, I mean, world's strongest man strength. So, he's going to be pretty superhuman strong. Bane's greatest asset is going to be his strength. It is just overwhelming, and it is going to be something that's stronger than Captain America's, despite the fact that he has the super soldier formula. Bane is also incredibly intelligent and crafty. He is the only man to ever truly beat Batman. Yeah, some people have kind of knocked Batman down, or some people have done physical or emotional blows to Batman, but Bane defeated Batman both physically, spiritually, and mentally. And he did so by watching the Batman, studying his moves, discerning who Batman is, and sending him through a gauntlet of villains to wear him down, where he was finally able to break the bat. Bane's greatest weakness in this is the fact that Bane can be arrogant. He is overconfident, and to quote Luke Skywalker, your overconfidence is your weakness. Your faith in your friends is yours. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. But Bane is overconfident. He's incredibly cocky. He broke the bat. How can you not be confident on that? So, if anything Captain America can do is use Bane's overconfidence against him. Now let's talk about Captain America, and we're talking about Steve Rogers here. Captain America is basically exactly what you would know him to be. He is a super soldier who fights for truth, justice, and the American way. And he actually does because he is part of the American Army. He is a special agent for S.H.I.E.L.D. He is an Avenger. He is a lot of things. Captain America kind of is like the Batman of the Marvel Universe in that he's been on almost all the teams and he's kind of done everything. Captain America basically has taken the super soldier formula, which increases his abilities to peak physical conditioning that the human body can do. Now, some people interpret it that he's stronger than what a physical body can do, that he is superhuman. I kind of flush back and forth. For the sake of this argument, I'm going to say that he is peak physical human strength, speed, durability, all that stuff, and 1 step higher. So, I mean, he's able to do stuff that a normal human wouldn't be able to do. In addition to that, Steve Rogers never tires at all. Exhaustion just doesn't happen to him. He has enhanced speed healing, not quite to the level of Wolverine or Spider-Man, but wounds he can heal from pretty quickly. In addition to that, he doesn't age. Not that that will play anything into this fight, but it shows that his cellular structure is in a constant regenerative state. Captain America is an incredible hand-to-hand combatant and a great fighter. He knows various different forms of combat, and he's a incredible close quarters combat fighter, similar to the Solid Snake. He's very down and dirty military-ish because, of course, he's Captain America. He's part of the military. Doesn't do too many things that are fancy if he doesn't have to. And the only things he really does fancy is with his shield, which will play in this fight. His shield is made of vibranium, which is one of those special metals that are indestructible, but most importantly, is able to absorb the impact or shock of strikes. For example, if you shoot a missile at him, the vibranium will absorb the impact for him, and he can just keep on going. It will not only protect him, but absorb the impact. That's pretty freaking awesome. You can also throw the shield as a projectile to bounce it off walls and hit the opponent, and he can also use it in melee combat, not only in defensive, but offensive means. So the question is, who would win in a fight? Well, if we were having a fight with prep time, any kind of prep time, even a day prep time, Bane would win. Bane would be able to be Bane, sneak up, watch his opponent, discern things that he can do, and take his opponent out. But we're not doing a prep time match here. No, 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 no. We're doing a standard fight where they just meet each other in an alleyway. And saying that, I would have to say that the victory would go 75% of the time to Captain America. And here is why. Reason number one is the reason why Bane defeated Batman is because he wore Batman down, sickened Batman with an illness, and also fought him at his lowest point. Yes, he did break the bat. He broke the bat's will, spirit, and body, but even Bane has admitted that he cheated to do so. He didn't actually defeat Batman in a straight out fight, and in every occurrence that they had a fight afterwards, Batman has taken down Bane. So to have that accolade under your belt is fantastic, but it doesn't apply to this fight. Bane had a week's worth of time to take down the Bat. He only has 10 seconds to fight Captain America. Number two is although Bane is stronger, Captain America is faster, more agile, and he's fought opponents who are as strong as Bane and come off smelling like roses. And in addition to that, Bane's main offensive weapon is going to be the Venom, which Captain America could cut off from Bane. It's not that hard to cut that tube that's behind his head or to hit the machine that's on the arm. Number three, Captain America's shield. Captain America's shield can withstand the incredibly powerful attacks of Bane, which is, well, very strong. The vibranium would be able to not only withstand but absorb. And more importantly, as Captain America is a better fighter than Bane. Bane is a skilled fighter, don't get me wrong. His military training and his just downright dirty form of combat is something to be desired. I mean, it is fantastic. But Captain America has trained some of the best of the Marvel Universe. And where I would like to believe that Captain America isn't quite as good as a fighter as, say, I don't know, Wolverine, Batman, or Lady Shiva, he's still up there in the upper tiers. He has more than 4 or 5 disciplines under his belt, and it's more than enough to give him the tactical advantage over Bane. And the last thing is Captain America's had years worth of training and also combat experience. It gives him kind of that edge. Now, like I said, 75% of the time Captain America will win. I can see Bane just pounding on him consistently nonstop too, but I would have to give my victory to Captain America. So, if you have an Andrewcutter Battle Royale that you would like to see happen, post it down in the comments below. I only use a character for one Battle Royale at a time. I mean, seeing that Captain America and Bane were just used, I'm not going to use them again. Maybe I might refresh and use characters again sometime later, but for now, they're used up, so let's move on. So let's go to questions and answers and wrap this up. Starting things for those of you that don't know, basically, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, or if you have comments to say, post it down below. Mr. M9991 said, awesome, I would totally like to see some Let's Plays. That is in response to me saying that my buddy and I might be doing some Let's Plays sometime soon. I think once I get the moving done, it'll be a lot easier to do something like that. But I'm looking forward to do something along that lines. Zach Brown also commented on that. Welcome back, man. I think it's a great idea for you to for you and your friend to do some Let's Plays. So I am looking forward to that. Evil Mastermind, hey Andrew, you accidentally saved a few things off from last week's questions. So here's what you shaved off. If you don't mind, I'll just copy them over. Would you like a book with Renee Montoya where she's working with Vic Sage in Bloodhaven against Blockbuster and other Nightwing's rogues in the pre-New 52? I don't really... I don't think I would care either way. I'd probably buy it, but I don't think the book would be overwhelmingly successful. It's too much of an oversaturation of Batman books. Which is funny because we're getting like 3 more Batman books. But I would read it. I wouldn't be gunning for it. There's a couple books I would want to see beforehand. In a Freedom Fighters book on Earth 5 where the Nazis won World War II. That I would probably be more interested in because it's so radically different and it's set in another universe. And I have a second question for you. Do you think Jade and Obsidian will ever reappear in the New 52, although Alan Scott is gay? Yeah. Just because Alan Scott is gay doesn't mean he can't have children. Um, Whether it's from a previous relationship before he found out that he was gay, or it could be kids that he adopted. I mean, just because you're gay doesn't mean you can't have children. So I am very confident that Jade and Obsidian, in some way, shape, or form, will both show up in the DC universe. Battle Royale, Zero versus Katana Pre-New 52. Now, I would love to see a Let's Play channel, but if it's too much on you and your friend, you don't have to set one. Well, thank you. Foz Kraz. Oh God, your name. Fozkraw. I can't pronounce that. Ayo. I wanted to get into Batman New 52 series. Can you tell me where to start? I've been buying all the most. I've been buying all. The most I have is Batman stories that you made in your videos. But since they rebooted, all I want is to keep up on Batman. I moved to the city that actually has a comic store. Awesome. And all my towns didn't have one. So I want to buy New 52 Batman, but I don't know where to start. What story is first? Thanks. It's pretty simple. The New 52 Batman story goes Court of the Owls, Volume 1 and 2, Night of the Owls, Death of the Family, and Zero Year stuff. So I believe it's broken up in Court of the Owls, Volume 1 and 2, and Night of the Owls, which is thrown in there. Death of the Family, and then spit-off titles. And then Zero Year Volume 1, Dark City, Zero Year Volume 2, Secret City, and Zero Year Volume 3, which is Savage City, which we just finished. So there's the order that you can go in. Pete Pepri Pruti, I hope I said that wrong. I hope you do Let's Play videos. It's fun, by the way. Long time no see. Long time no see. Soul Drum 86. Will you do figure reviews again? Yeah, I should. I just bought the new 52 Starfire figure. I don't know why I haven't done any figure reviews. I just think it's easier to do videos like this. Hey Andrew, I have a couple questions. Have you seen the Great Capullo Batman figure? If you have, are you planning on getting it? I already have it. Unfortunately, it's all packaged away. So, but I do have the Great Capullo figure. I am pumped for a 0 year costume figure. What kind of what kind of comic bags do you use to protect your graphic novels? Are they modern, Bronze Age, or what size do you use for the bigger novels like Long Halloween? Are they available online, or are they available online? If they are available online, can you? Oh, there's more. Can you please send me a link? P.S. Your videos are awesome. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I actually did a video a while back saying what kind of bags to use and how to bag them. I don't bag my graphic novels anymore, but when I did, I used certain kind of bags. I believe I used Silver Age bags for the normal size, and I used magazine bags for larger. But go on my channel and look up comic bags, and you should be able to find the video. It was like 2 years ago I put it set up. Um, Green Arrow Hunter. I know that I'm asking if they were living in the same universe. Could it happen? Oh, this is a response to someone. Okay. Green Arrow Hunter's first comment. Hey, Andrew. One question. Do you think Thor and Wonder Woman could work as a couple? Battle Royale, Leonardo versus Katana. Um, and then someone responded, do different universes. And then he said, yeah, I'm just asking if they lived in the same universe, what would happen? No, I don't think they would be a good couple. Because Thor is too... I don't think Thor would be very respectful to her. Thor is very old school, and Wonder Woman wouldn't take a shit. But hey, that's just me. And that's all the comments and questions for this week. If you have anything that you'd like to post it down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm glad that I was able to pull it out. Thank you, and have a good one. Till next time. And peace out for now.